Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Spring Porter with Spring Solutions LLC. In this video, I'm going to be providing you with 5 ways to get started with bankruptcy unclaimed funds. This is another top question that I get a lot. How do I get started? I'm not really ready to commit to a course yet, but I just want more general information. So if that is you and you fall into that category, please stay tuned. Please note that I am not an attorney. This information is not indicated as legal advice. All right, guys, let's start with step 1. You want to make sure you know where you want to work. Which state, which region, East Coast, West Coast. Perhaps you want to work in all districts and all U.S. territories. You can essentially do that. There are very few where you have to be an attorney, but in most districts, you actually don't have to, and you can do this as a third party. So narrow that down. Please make sure you're checking this particular website, this uscourts.gov website that I have mentioned before on my channel. It has all of the federal courts, the links to the bankruptcy court websites, and the districts, like how many districts there are in that particular state are there as well. States like California and Texas have 4, so they're pretty big. Make sure you are aware of how many districts there are. Step 2, you want to look up the finder fee rules in the state codes, because you're going to be conducting business in those particular states. You're going to be providing contracts to individuals. You want to make sure that you can use those particular contracts and you know what % you can charge per deal. That information is found on a state level. So you're going to have to check the state code. And you may want to actually check individual state agency websites. So the Department of Treasury for that state, or the Department of Revenue. Act as if you are finding a state fund for someone or recovering an unclaimed fund in that state, and you may uncover that information on what you need. For example, Tennessee, in the video that I did previously, you actually had to be a private investigator to do this on a state level. So find out what that is. If you've searched those sites and the state code and you still can't find it, reach out to an attorney. They do offer consultations that are free, and they may not be a full hour, but they may be 30 minutes, and you could probably do it on the phone. So call their secretary, just call around and see what you can find. Number 3, review those bankruptcy court websites. So you've narrowed it down to where you want to work. Click on the actual site. There's a wealth of information, the hours, COVID hours. They have the clerk's information, the process to how you're to recover unclaimed funds in that area, addresses, judges, numbers. It's just a lot of even statistics. If you want to know how many cases have been filed in that region in January, you can find it. Okay, so it's all there. Step 4, you may want to become incorporated. So you're going to have to set aside a budget. You don't have to actually have an LLC to recover bankruptcy unclaimed funds. However, you may want to, because when you're filing unclaimed funds in bankruptcy, it becomes public record. So that application may have your full government name. It may have your telephone number, your email address. So if you don't have that extra layer of protection, that's what an LLC kind of does for you. You know, you have a PO box, it gives you a company name, and so your personal information is not out there. You may want to consider that. And even on a state level, when you're doing your state level research, it may tell you that you have to actually be an LLC anyway. So set aside a budget. You are going to have to speak to an attorney to get incorporated or to get information on that. You're going to have to set aside money for like postage and maybe an office phone. This is my first house phone since I was like 5. I mean, since my adult life, I've always had a cell phone. But I'm a millennial, so that's basically what we're all about. But so just keep that in mind. You need a printer, some stationery, some websites, just little things like that you're going to need. The most expensive thing that you're probably going to need is probably a printer, because the libraries are closed in most areas still. So set aside a budget for that. Seek an attorney that's going to be able to help you with the incorporation docs, with your contracts, because you're going to need a power of attorney and a contracts if you're doing this as a third party. And so this is basically the steps that you need to follow if you want to get started, something that you can do on your own. Now, I do provide you a step-by-step process in my course. I have simple, templates that you can use for contracts and scripts. You can certainly do this on your own. I have 10 years of experience in bankruptcy as a paralegal, and it still took me a minute to really become familiar with this process because it's different. So I've taken the guesswork out of it. You can certainly do this on your own. If you didn't want to, you can take a look at my course. You can email me. You can cruise around my channel. There's a lot, over almost 100 videos that I have close to now with a wealth of information to start with. So I hope that this is helpful to you. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.